Welcome to the right angle. So, when it comes to Democrats, it's like clockwork. Whatever they're telling you, whatever they're pointing their fingers at, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're guilty of it themselves. Projection isn't just a playbook for them, it's their way of life, it's their personality. The examples are endless, and really, it would be funny. It would be hilarious if it wasn't so downright sinister, if it wasn't so bad for our country. And speaking of bad for our country, enter Letitia James, New York's disgraced attorney general, the poster child of this hypocrisy. You may know her as the ringleader of the relentless witch hunt against President Trump, which slapped him with a nearly $500 million judgment for a so called crime of, I don't know, selling real estate, which had no victims, it had no complainants, it has really no shred of legitimacy, and will get appealed very soon. But what if I told you the very crime she's accused Trump of, she's been caught red handed committing herself? What if I told you that while she had zero evidence against Trump, a mountain of evidence is piling up against her? And what if I told you that Letitia James might soon trade her AG title for a prison cell? Well, we'll go through that and more. Let's get into it. So, the Federal Housing Financial Agency, or the FHFA, has thrown Letitia James into the hot seat. They've referred her to the Department of Justice. This happened a couple days ago, and it was for a laundry list of alleged crimes that read like a rap sheet, really. What is it? Misrepresentation of a Virginia property, misrepresentation of a New York property, and providing false personal information. I think that's financial information to the state of New York. And we're not talking about your run of the mill crimes here. The crimes really get more elevated because of the position of the person, AG of the entire state of New York, who, by the way, went after Trump for the exact same thing that she's being accused of. Again, projection. And we're talking about serious crimes here: mortgage fraud, wire fraud, mail fraud, false statements to a financial institution. Really, to put it bluntly, her days as the New York AG might be numbered, and her next address could be I don't know, a federal prison, maybe somewhere in there. And really, I'm here for it. Let's dive into the initial reports and see what we have going on.
Well, the tables have turned. New York Attorney General Letitia James, who on Valentine's Day of last year posted this message to President Trump: roses are red, violets are blue. No one is above the law, even when you think the rules don't apply to you. How sweet. But, she's in some hot water. The U.S. Federal Housing Agency is sending a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate James for alleged mortgage fraud, for allegedly, in multiple instances, falsifying bank documents and property records to acquire government-backed assistance and loans and more favorable loan terms. President Trump commented on the news, having this to say: James, a totally corrupt politician, should resign from her position as New York State Attorney General immediately. Everyone is trying to make New York great again, and it can never be done with this wacky crook in office. Ooh, Krisha.
Alex, the irony is unbelievable here because Letitia James, she also thinks she is above the law. Full disclosure, I actually was running a campaign with Michael Henry, who ran against Letitia James, and she hasn't changed a bit. All she wants to do is get Trump and try to destroy this administration, but she's not going to be able to do it with these receipts. They're pretty incredible that she's trying to basically, as we were talking about before, falsify documents, which is what she was accusing Trump of doing. And ultimately here, she is so out of line. This is why local elections, in this case it is one, matter because they affect the entire country. And what we're seeing with Tish James, not surprising. Democrats think that they're just, they can get away with everything, which they have for quite some time. But Tish James may be finally.
It's complete karma that she accused him of falsifying documents for favorable bank terms. She listed, according to the court documents, Virginia as her legal residence when she's the New York Attorney General, and according to some reports, even listed her father as her husband.
Now you've heard that. As the man said, karma is probably the perfect word to be used here. Not only has this alleged criminal reportedly falsified financial records, but get this, She allegedly listed her father as her husband on a mortgage application. I think this is back in the early 2000s. Serious question. What's with Democrats getting married to family? Maybe we should ask Ilhan Omar that. Uh, maybe someday. Meanwhile, James loyalists are in full blown panic mode, scrambling to spin this disaster. Let's take a look at her initial response and see how she's dealing with this full blown corruption.
Let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless. The allegations are nothing more than a revenge tour. And as you mentioned, my office was successful in securing a $454 million judgment against Donald Trump and others for exaggerating the value of his assets. He engaged in a pattern and practice of fraud. And the interest is accruing each and every day while the case is on appeal in the First Department. It's important that individuals know that this is nothing more than the continuation of the tour. He went after law firms, universities, immigrants, women. Thousands of federal employees right now are unemployed. Our government is in chaos and in disarray. Medicaid, Social Security, CFPB, and the list goes on and on and on. And as you know, as you mentioned, each and every day, my office is leading the fight against these executive orders, which have no legal import at all, have no legal significance. And we are standing up for the rights and privileges of New Yorkers and Americans. I will not be silenced. I will not be bullied. I will not bend. I will not break. And I will not bow to anyone. No one is above the law, including the President of these United States.
Okay.
And the Office of the Attorney General will continue to stand up.
So there it is. James calls the allegations a revenge tour by President Trump, then has the audacity to talk about her corrupt case against him. She can't read the room, can she? Even with a mountain of evidence stacking up against her, she can't wipe that arrogant little smirk off of her face. It's like she thinks she's untouchable. Maybe she thinks she's cloaked in New York's Democrat immunity, where no blue blood ever does time. But this time is going to be different. Then she pivots to some tired Democrat talking points. Oh, the government's collapsing, or federal employees are getting fired. This is what I voted for, and maybe it's what she looks at it as because all her friends are losing their jobs, but I don't look at it like that at all. So, a lot of that is so riddled with lies and conjecture, they're barely worth the airtime, honestly. But what you really saw there was a textbook manipulation called Darvo. So, first the denial, then the attack on who she thinks is behind this. Spoiler alert, Leticia is not Trump pulling the strings, it's Bill Pullett, who is the head of the FHFA. So, Trump did not ordain this or organize this. This came from a legitimate source. Are you calling that source bad too? And this guy does this for a living, so he's not playing games. But anyway, let's see how Republicans are reacting to this bombshell.
This may be the biggest irony I've ever seen in American politics, that she's now, it looks like she's engaged in the same thing she charged President Trump with. I mean, turns out you can't have your principal residence in Virginia and be the Attorney General of New York. Turns out you can't on a mortgage form say that your dad is actually your husband, and you also can't say that you got a 4-unit property that's actually 5 units. Those are the 3 things that it looks like she did over a long period of time, and yet she had the gall to go after President Trump. You got to be kidding me. So, yeah, I think this is real. We'll see. Her comments so far, she's been kind of quiet. Of course, she does a typical thing the left always does. The left will they'll always accuse us of what they're doing. And the other thing they always do, the left will tell a lie. Trump did something wrong. Big media will report it. Big tech will amplify it. And then if you tell the truth, they call you names. And that's exactly what she did. I think she called President Trump and his administration bullies for simply pointing out that it looks like she lied on these forms, and she did it to get better terms and a better rate on the loans. So she was doing it for personal gain, and you're not supposed to do those kind of things.
Well, there it is. And This is just the opening act. A lot of this is still being, sorted. There's still a lot of minutia. There's a lot of things that are going to be coming from this. But I really think Jordan nailed it. Democrats love to pin their own sins on us, on you, right? While they're the ones neck deep in it. Leticia James is staring down a mountain of evidence, and there's nowhere left for her to hide. Look at this Darbo chart. Look on your screen. So this is what the left do. This is what they do. This is the playbook they run when they're caught being corrupt. It starts with denying, check. We saw that with her in the video. Then it's attack. Yep. She's already swinging at Trump. Next, she'll slide into what they call reverse victimhood, which is her whining that she's the one being bullied for crimes that she sure looks like she committed. So, and she did that a little bit in the video. And finally, she's going to do what they call the reverse offender, where she'll try to flip the script, maybe drag Trump's name through the mud again, maybe toss in some accusations of racism or whatever else the left loves to lean into. But right now, Leticia James is stuck. She's stuck in the deny and she's stuck in the attack phase. But mark my words, the victim card is coming, so she will use that. She'll cry foul. She'll claim she's a target of a grand conspiracy. But this time, Leticia, the truth is coming in. No one is above the law, remember? Not even Democrats. Justice is knocking, and it's coming for you real soon. Anyway, tell me what you think about all this. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.